So we are going to dive into today's training. So today is all about how to be productive today to maximize your time, make more money, and feel fulfilled. So I want to give you a few bullet points, a few takeaways on each one of these. So maximizing your time. How do we do this every single day? How do we be productive every single day? Okay. The first part about doing all of this is setting systems into place. If you don't have systems, you have no effective system or strategy to tap into to maximize the results and what you're doing. You have nothing to grow and watch your statistics on, you have nothing to track. So it's so important that when you're doing this, you have a set system in place so you know exactly what you're doing and then how you're tracking these things. So one of the most important things that I talk about is having this set system in place. And I do this every single month, but I map out my targets, my daily to-dos, and my goals. And if you could see my desk right now, you would see I have a big calendar right in front of me. I have the month of July. I did yesterday, and I mapped out my entire month of July, my projects, my dailies, what I'm doing every day, and then my goals. Okay, so I know what I'm going after. I know what I'm doing every single week. The people within my business know, so my assistants know, my team knows what I'm focusing on, what content we are repurposing or sending out, or what the structure of our days looks like. We're not winging it. We know exactly what that looks like. I say we because it's not just me. I have a team behind me. You may be a solopreneur right now. And I want to tell you that's probably one of the biggest things that is holding you back from expanding your business. Because as we get more into these conversations and I talk about how you're going to be able to grow your business and what that looks like, you need to be able to let go of the reins a little bit and allow people to take over the things that they can do. There's only certain things that you can do in your business that you can do, right? And you need to take hold of that and take charge of that. But there's also things in your business that you may not want to give up because you're so used to doing it. You're like, well, why would I pay someone $10 an hour or $12 an hour to do these things when I can do them myself? And I will tell you, I did a post yesterday about cloning yourself, right? Like if you could actually clone yourself, what would you do? Like, what would you put that extra time into? If you had an extra hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, right? What would you do with that time? Would you put it in your business so you could make more money? Would you grow a team? Would you spend more time on you, on your health, on your wellness, on your family? What would you do? It's so important that you identify this, because if you're not, you will continue to stay in that same cycle of doing those things over and over and over again, instead of passing that off to someone else who can do it in probably less time than you can. I'll tell you, in my business, I create all my content. I do not do the pretty graphics and images and PowerPoints and workbooks that my clients get. I make all the content and I delegate that out. I outsource that to someone who can do it better than me in less time than me, who's more creative than me, because my brain is best spent working in my business, not just doing the pretty stuff. I can outsource that to someone who can do it way better than I can in less time. So what I want you to do, so the first part of this, which is maximizing your time, is know exactly what your plan is. What are your targets, your dailies, and your goals? And I go into this in depth. Like I do an in-depth training on this in my Plan Your Perfect Month program in the bundle. And that's something that is available right now. I'll drop the link so you guys have it, but I go in depth in how to do this, what it looks like, how you plan it out. I do this myself every single month. At the end of the month, I would say if you haven't done it yet, today's perfect day to do it. July 1, we're getting started with a new month. Before you move any further, you've got to get this in place. And I promise you, you will start to hit your goals so much faster than without a plan. It's like driving in a car and not having your GPS, right? Or the roadmap as to where you're going. So you got to know what you're doing. You got to know where you're going, what it looks like, where the pit stops are, the road stops are, so you know exactly how you're showing up, where you're showing up, what this looks like. So I really want you to start to dive into putting this system in place, because I can guarantee you it will double your business as soon as you implement it. The girls that have just went through my program, my Boss Lady program, that was a 3-month-long program. Within the first month, actually it was within the first 2 weeks, the women that were implementing the systems that I gave them and the strategies that are also in this program, we're seeing massive results in just 2 weeks. Because this is the thing, you have to not just do it or implement it or make the plan, you actually have to put it into action, right? So what I encourage you to do is get that training. Like I said, it's available right now, and implement. And you do that every single day. You take that strategy, that blueprint that I give you, and you implement that. And then what you do is you continue to do that over and over and over again. What are the things that you're setting into place? And then within a week or two of that consistent effort, that's when you start to see the results. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it does. It really, if it's something that you're putting into place, that you're going to get that immediate result. But within about 2 weeks, you're going to start to see massive results. And I want that for you guys. So that is the first part. Number one, you got to have your system. Okay. Get that system in place, your targets, your dailies, and your goals. So that's number one. Number two, know exactly what you're doing each day. Okay. What moves you forward? One of the things that I talk about in my coaching programs are your money-making moves. Okay. So what actions are getting you the most results? What's giving you the most ROI in your business? This could also be in your personal life. For me, I know that outsourcing groceries to Instacart, Amazon, things like that saves me so much time. Okay. I'm not out driving in my car, trying to dodge traffic to get to the grocery store. Then I got to get there, go shopping, come home. I haven't gone grocery shopping in probably 2 years. And I do Instacart probably twice a week. So this isn't just for your business. This is for your personal life as well. Know what's moving you forward. Know what's going to give you the most progress. Okay. And what actions are going to get those results? Because it's not just, well, if I do this action, then if I do it one time, it's going to get me a result. It's doing that over and over and over again and having the intention behind it. Okay. How can you streamline, delegate, automate, outsource these things that's going to give you more time? It's so important that you know what that looks like. It's so important that you know what are the things that you can actually pass off to someone else or automate in your business. Because if you don't know what that looks like, you're never gonna be able to pass it off. So part of going and really diving deep into these strategies and getting all of this in place is knowing where you are now and where do I want to go? Where do I want to be at the end of July? Where do I want to be 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now? You do not want your business in the same place it is right now in 30 days, in 60 days, in 90 days. We are always going after growth, okay? The only way that you can do that is knowing where you are. Where are you now and where do you want to go? Okay? It's so important that you do this little inventory check and check in with yourself and say, where am I? Where do I want to be? How much am I making right now? Right? Maybe you're making 2K a month, 5K a month, 10K, 20K. I don't know what your goal is. I would love for you guys to comment and let me know. But the only way we can get to that next level is knowing where we're at and putting the strategy behind how we're leveling up, getting to the next level, going after whatever it is that we need to go after, but having that set plan in place, because you can't do that if you don't know where you're at. So I want you to take that inventory right now, the beginning of July, look at where you're at. What are your numbers? What are the tasks that you're focusing on? Where is your attention going? What can you start streamlining, delegating, outsourcing, automating? All of these things that essentially allow you to clone yourself. When I do Instacart, when I have my assistant tap into projects she can help me with, or my virtual assistants, right? All of these people are part of my team and they all have a very important role, but they can't do what I can do in my business. They can't sit here and deliver this content to you. They're not the ones that are showing up on coaching calls. They're not the ones that are making the content. Yes, they can make it look pretty for me and do the designs and all of that behind it, but I know the things that only I can do in my business, but I'm also very aware of the things that I need to be outsourcing and having someone else on the team do and focus on. That's better than me in that area, and that's okay. You want to not be 100% perfect in all the areas. You can't be. You can't be the amazing graphic designer and the amazing videographer and the amazing photographer and the amazing, like all of the things. You would have to, again, clone yourself 5, 6, 7 times over in order to do that. So because we can't do that, we come back to reality and we say, how do I essentially do that? Maximize my time, get more done, but make it seem like I'm able to clone myself and do all the things. So many of my clients come to me and they're like, how do you seem like you're everywhere? How do you show up everywhere? How is it that I'm getting newsletters from you and you're showing up live and you're doing coaching and group coaching and you're showing up on Facebook and all the places? It's because I have a system, you guys. It's because I have a system, a set, clear system that has a very clear operation behind it. And that's what I want you to start to understand, is that when you have that, you get to seem like you're everywhere. You get to show up and be at all the places and be omnipresent, right? So I want that for you, because when you do that, you start to attract more clients. You get your brand, your message, your product, whatever it is, out into the world so much faster, which means people start to realize, who are you? What do you do? What do you deliver? What is your product? And all of you that are watching, I know that all of you are those ambitious women. You wouldn't be in a group called Productivity Hacks for Ambitious Women if you weren't that ambitious woman, right? So let's start getting these in place for you, these systems, so you can actually truly clone yourself in a world where we don't have a cloning machine, right? This is how we do it. And I want to walk you through that. So that's what you do in that bundle, in that Plan Your Perfect Month bundle. And then the last part of this, the third part of it, is what fulfills you. You have to know, because part of this title of what I'm sharing with you is how to be productive every day to maximize your time, make more money, and be fulfilled, right? So we talked about the maximizing our time, making more money, because when we can start to implement these systems, we get to make more money. We get to show up and know what the money-making moves are that are moving us forward, that only we can do, and the things that we can outsource and delegate and automate, so we can bring in more clients, more money, make more of an impact, show up. But you know what? Also, guys, none of this would matter if you're not fulfilled, right? So you could be making however much money you want to be making, hitting your goals, slaying your targets, going after all these things. But if you're not fulfilled, none of it matters. If I was not fulfilled in my life and in my role as a businesswoman, and also as a mom and a wife, if I didn't have all those things, I would not be fulfilled. I need both. I need to be the amazing mom, the amazing wife, the amazing coach, the amazing woman in business, because all of those make up who I am. And I want you to define that. What does it look like for you, right? What fulfills you? You need to know what that looks like. And I have a short exercise I want to walk you through. So what you're going to do is you're going to take an inventory of your life, of the 10 key areas of your life. What area do you want to focus on now? And this is really important because, again, if we don't have the intention on it, just like in our business, we can't show up for it. So I want you to write these 10 things down. This is a little exercise. Okay, number 1, physical health. 2, mental well-being. 3, your environment and surroundings. 4, romance. 5, friends and family. 6, hobbies, joy, and restoration. 7, finances. 8, purpose or career. 9, spirituality. And 10, personal growth. I want you to go through this exercise and I want you to write all 10 of those down. And I want you to pick one area that you want to start with. And I also want you to number them on a scale of 1 to 10. For you personally, how do you feel in each one of those areas? Do you feel like your spirituality is at a 5, but maybe your purpose and your career is at like a 2? Or maybe your romance, right? Like with your husband or your boyfriend or whatever your relationship is at like a 9, but your physical health is at like a 4. I want you to identify what areas for each of these, how fulfilled you are, how satisfied you are on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, how happy are you in those areas? Again, physical health, mental well-being, environment and surroundings, hobby, joy, restoration, friends and family, finances, romance, purpose or career, spirituality, and personal growth. I want you to identify where you're at in each one of those categories, in each one of those areas. And then I want you to pick one area. And for the next 30 days, I want you to show up intentionally in that area. Map out what you're doing. Maybe it's let's say it's in romance, and you're like, you know what? Every day for the next 30 days, I'm going to put little love letters on in my husband's car. I'm going to show up and make romantic dinners. I'm going to like whatever it is, right? Or maybe it's in business and you're like, what? For the next 30 days, I'm committing to getting my business to this next level. And this is exactly what I'm going to do to get there. I'm going to make sure I have my networking in place. I'm going to hire a business coach or a high performance coach. I'm going to start to plan out what I'm doing every single day. What are my projects? How am I showing up? How am I growing my community, right? All of these things, this is what I do with my clients. And it's so important that you have this set game plan in place, because if you don't, you're never going to reach those goals. So there's a very, very clear strategy behind this. And I want this for you. I want you to understand that this is so possible. One of my clients that I work with, she created 3 income streams in her business within 2 months of working together. Okay. That is a woman who has no excuses. She shows up, she puts in the work, and she makes it happen. And again, anyone can have this. You guys, I wrote a book, had my business, my coaching business, my group coaching business, mom life, pregnancy, we moved, coronavirus, all at the same time. And I was able to do all of these things because I know what my goals are. I know what I'm going after every single day. And if it sounds overwhelming to you and you're like, oh my gosh, Sandy, but I'm not a planner like you. I don't know how to put all of this into place and I can't stay dedicated to it. I would ask you one of 2 things. 1, do you have the resources? If that's a no, I'll share my program with you and you can tap into that. And then that's no longer an excuse. And number 2, how bad do you want it? Because if you don't want it bad enough, it's not going to happen. We can sit there all day long and say, I want to hit my goals. I want to be more focused. I want to make this amount of money. But if you don't have the systems, that's one thing, right? But I just knocked that excuse out because I just gave you the training line. You can hire a coach. You can hire someone that's further along, a little bit ahead of you, that can give you the strategies, give you the tools and blueprints, right? Like the cheat codes. And then the second part of it is, what's standing in my way? What's standing in my way from making this happen? And a lot of times, you guys, it's you. You are giving yourself the excuses. You are giving yourself the reason why you're not showing up and implementing these things. Because if you had the blueprint, if you had the strategy behind it, if you had that, then what's standing in your way? I asked all of you in here a few weeks back, I said, what is your income goal that you want to hit? Some of you said, I want to start my business. Some of you said 2K, 5K, 10K. Like I loved all the different answers that we had coming in. But it's so important that you know what it is that you want, because you will never get there if you don't know. And I want to do a little exercise, and maybe this will be the next call, but I want you to take whatever number you have in your head, whatever the goal is. Now I want to do a little exercise with you. I want to prove to you that you can hit that. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to write in the comments, what is your goal for the month of July? What do you want to hit? What number do you want to hit? 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 K a month? What is it? And I want you to know that that plan, you're going to be able to hit that number so much faster than you ever thought if you get this plan in place. I want you to get this training. I want you to be able to be fulfilled as wives, as women, as mothers, because guess what? When mama's happy, everyone's happy, right? When mama feels fulfilled and living on purpose and making a difference and an impact, we show up differently. We show up differently as wives and mothers and women in business. Every day I get to be fulfilled as a woman in business because I love what I do. I love that I get to change the lives of the women that I work with. And I want this for you. So whatever your goal is for this month, I want to know, because I promise you, you're going to be able to get there if you have the right systems. And I'm giving them to you. I'm giving them to you on a silver platter. And I'm saying, take this, implement this. And when you do, you get to have what you want. There's no magic. It's work, right? So check that out. It's sandraglant.com/perfect-month. And if you're in the Productivity Hacks for Ambitious Women Facebook group, you're going to see that I posted the link in there. Go check that out. That training is available for you right now. And it's going to walk you through how to plan out your entire month to hit your goals, to hit your targets, to feel fulfilled, to make more money, to make an impact, right? The biggest part of all of this is being fulfilled. So I want you to feel like you can do it all. There's no reason why you can't. So that's today's training. Again, we're going to be doing these every Wednesday. I'm going to jump into this group right here. We're going to talk about a little topic for 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to give you some tangible tips and steps and an action plan to take away. And we're going to do this together. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I am so excited to hear back from you. Let me know how this has helped, how this is working for you. And again, just put the plan in place. Don't be the one that's holding you back from hitting your goals and dreams and making that massive impact for you, your family, and everyone around you. I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing day.